Waves crashed against the hull, seagulls screeched, the salty air stung our faces. We were pirates aboard our captain, the fearsome Blackbeard. Our mission? To find the Sapphire Skull, a legendary treasure, said to grant eternal life. The journey wouldn't be easy, but we were Blackbeard's crew. We feared no danger. The map lay spread on the captain's table, a tattered parchment marked with cryptic symbols. Blackbeard traced his finger across it. His eyes gleamed with greed and determination. "The skull will be ours, lads," he roared. We cheered, raising our tankards high. The promise of adventure and riches, it flowed through our veins like the strongest rum. The quest for the Sapphire Skull had begun. First there was One-Eyed Jack, the navigator, lost his eye to a kraken, but his aim with a sextant was true. Then came Stormblade Sally, our master swordsman, faster with a cutlass than a bolt of lightning. Blackheart Bill was our muscle, strong as an ox, twice as mean, and me, they called me Scrimshaw. I chronicled our adventures. With ink and parchment, I captured our tales of daring and danger, each pirate a story in themselves, bound together by loyalty to Blackbeard and the allure of the Sapphire Skull. We were a family, a rough, tough, seafaring family. But as we sailed, I noticed a glint in the first mate's eye, a flicker of greed. It worried me. Could we trust all our own? Only time would tell. Weeks turned into months. The sea, a cruel mistress, she tested our strength. But we persevered, guided by the stars and Blackbeard's unwavering resolve. One day, One-Eyed Jack shouted, "Land ho, Skull Island!" It rose from the sea, a jagged, skull-shaped rock formation, shrouded in mist and mystery. We lowered the longboats. The oars dipped into the water. Silence fell over the crew, a sense of anticipation and dread. What awaited us on that island? The shore was black sand, littered with the bones of ships and men. A shiver ran down my spine. This place reeked of danger and the promise of untold riches. As we ventured inland, jungle closed in around us, vines thick as a man's arm. Strange birds squawked overhead. We were not alone on this island. A pirate flag, black as midnight, emblazoned with a skull and crossbones, but not Blackbeard's flag. This one was different, more menacing. It belonged to Captain Cutlass, Blackbeard's sworn enemy. "Cutlass," Blackbeard growled, his hand gripping his cutlass hilt. "He'll try to claim the skull for himself." His eyes burned with fury. This just got personal. We knew Cutlass by reputation, a ruthless pirate captain, feared for his cruelty and his uncanny ability to find treasure. This encounter could turn deadly. Section 5, Treacherous Waters, the Siren's Call. The island itself seemed to work against us. Hidden traps, poisonous creatures, the air thick with the smell of decay, and something else, a haunting melody. It drifted through the jungle, enticing, alluring, the Siren's Call. Legend said it lured sailors to their deaths. Blackbeard warned us to resist, but some weren't strong enough. We lost 2 men, drawn to the lagoon by the siren's song. Their screams still echo in my nightmares. The island was a death trap, and the Sapphire Skull a deadly prize. But we pressed on, fear giving way to determination. We would not be deterred. Betrayal, the first mate's greed. Just as we neared the island's heart, disaster struck. The first mate, Scar they called him, turned on Blackbeard. Greed had twisted his soul. He wanted the skull for himself. A fight broke out, chaos, the clash of steel against steel. Scar had gathered a handful of men to his side, blinded by the promise of riches. "Blackbeard, you'll never keep it, Scar. The skull belongs to the sea." The fight was brutal, bloody. 2 pirates, once brothers, now locked in a deadly duel. In the end, Blackbeard prevailed, but not without a cost. He stood over Scar's fallen form, sadness and anger in his eyes. Betrayal cuts deep, even for a pirate. Weakened but unbroken, we continued our quest. The map led us to a cave. The air grew cold. A faint blue glow emanated from within. The Sapphire Skull awaited. But blocking our path stood Cutlass and his men. "Cutlass, out of our way, Blackbeard. The skull is mine." A standoff. Tension crackled in the air, then all hell broke loose. Steel clashed. Gunpowder exploded. The cave echoed with the sounds of battle. It was a fight for the ages. Blackbeard and Cutlass locked in a deadly dance. Their swords a blur of motion, each one determined to claim the prize. Only one would walk out alive. Through the chaos, I caught a glimpse of it, the Sapphire Skull, resting on an altar of bones. It pulsed with an eerie blue light, hypnotic, mesmerizing. Pirates on both sides, momentarily forgetting their loyalties, rushed towards the skull, consumed by its allure, blinded by greed. Suddenly, the cave began to shake. Dust rained down from the ceiling. The siren's call reached a fever pitch. The island itself seemed to reject our presence. Blackbeard and Cutlass, their duel forgotten, stared at each other, a silent understanding passing between them. The island held a power far greater than any treasure. We barely escaped the collapsing cave, leaving behind the sapphire skull and the bodies of those who had fallen. The island was a graveyard, swallowed by the sea. Some say the skull still rests there, guarded by the island's magic, a siren song luring unsuspecting sailors to their doom, a warning to those who seek what is not theirs. Blackbeard never spoke of that day, but I saw a change in him, a newfound respect for the sea and the legends that haunt it. As for me, I learned that some treasures are best left undisturbed. The sea holds many secrets. The sapphire skull is just one of them, and sometimes the greatest treasure is the story itself.